Hi, and welcome to Austin, Texas, home of Texas Roller Derby. I'm Kate or Die.
And I'm Greta Ground and Pound. And tonight we are bringing you the Calvello Cup Championship bout between Las Putas del Fuego and the Cherry Bombs.
Now, neither one of these teams have ever met in the TXRD Championship in all of TXRD history.
That's very true, but they did meet in the regular season. Las Putas del Fuego came away with the win, but it was only a 7-point game. So we're sure to see a very close, very exciting game tonight.
Stay tuned. It's going to be awesome. Now, entering the track, the Cherry Bombs. Captain, Sacrilegious. Co-captain, Scrappy. Annie Smokeley. Bully Jean. Ninja Please. Mila Jukovic. Rolla Parks. Trainwreck Trina. Tricky Vicky. Cindy Davis. Straight Jacket.
Now entering the track, the reigning Calvello Cup champions, Las Putas del Fuego. Captain, Corazon. Co-captain, Picante. Like a Boss. Hustlepuff. Rasta Fury. Sabotage. Juicy Cooter. Smitey Mouse. Dostoevsky. Knockout. Managers, Putahantas. This is Texas Roller Derby. Welcome to the Calvello Cup Championship bout. We have the Cherry Bombs versus Las Putas del Fuego. Putas in black, Cherry Bombs in green. If you're new to the sport, keep an eye on the skaters with their stars on their helmets. Those are your jammers, and they're the only skaters on the track who can score points. What they're trying to do is break through the pack, lap the pack, and the second time through, they're going to get a point for every opposing skater that they pass. Scrappy in green for the Cherry Bombs is the lead jammer. She has the advantage of being able to call off the jam at any time by placing her hands on her hips. So she's coming around into point scoring position right now, like a boss, right now making it out of the pack. Probably not going to get any points this time around. Scrappy hits the ground, getting back up. Now in order to score points, she has to get her hips and skates in front of the opposing skaters. Like a Boss comes around, but Scrappy calls off that jam. 2 points for the Cherry Bombs, 0 points for Las Putas del Fuego.
To start this the Calvello Cup bout off right, we've got a minor penalty on Rolla Parks for a forearm against the jammer.
All right, Rolla, let's see what the big wheel has in store for you. It looks like it's a long jump.
We had a minor penalty on the Cherry Bombs, Miss Rolla Parks, for a forearm. And the penalty wheel mistress has sentenced her to a long jump. Rolla's got to get up enough speed in one lap to jump over that middle white line without scratching.
There's a lot of good jumpers on the Cherry Bombs. I am impressed that Rolla's going straight for it.
Well, she'll lose 2 points if she loses one. That was a badass jump,
Yeah,
Rolla.
not bad at all. Not bad at all.
But going up against her is Hustlepuff, and she's one of the best little jumpers we got.
Yeah, she flies. She's so tiny.
But you know what? She could scratch.
Yeah, anything can happen in the long jump.
Yeah. Oh, dang.
Whoa!
Way over Rolla's. The Cherry Bombs are going to lose that point for that minor penalty. Trainwreck Trina jamming for the Cherry Bombs up against Hustlepuff jamming for Las Putas del Fuego.
Woo.
Both coming in hard, and Hustlepuff goes around the high side and boom, right into a wall of Cherry Bombs in the front there.
Oh, man, that is a tough wall at the front. Hustle's having a really hard time getting around. Bully Jean is a really, really stellar blocker, as is Annie Smokeley. When they form a wall together, look out.
It's crazy. We're going to see so much blocking and hitting tonight, like hardcore defense by these two teams, definitely.
For sure.
Look at these jammers. Neither one of them have been able to make it out of this deadly pack.
So deadly, so dangerous.
Hustlepuff is up there, and nobody's helping her. With the Cherry Bombs, too, they don't really have anyone assisting their jammers, which is pretty important, but Hustlepuff is your lead jammer out in front. Let's see if she has enough time to score some points.
Yeah, there's, if anyone can do it, it's going to be Hustlepuff.
Yeah.
She's got about 10 seconds left on the clock. Coming into the pack, there is a goat. Gets the points, calls it off by placing her hands on her hips. That is 2 points for Las Putas del Fuego, 0 points for the Cherry Bombs. Ninja Please jamming for the Cherry Bombs. Smitey Mouse is jamming for Las Putas del Fuego. Looks like the jammers are exchanging some words on the line there. A lot of jammer on jammer action. Ooh!
Ninja tries to go through that 3-man wall in the back and kind of breaks through. Ooh, she is dirty on the inside though, and that gives Smitey Mouse a chance to make it as lead jammer.
Sure enough, Smitey is super fast, super tiny, just like Hustlepuff. People often mistake them for each other, as a matter of fact. As a matter of fact, we may do that tonight.
Yeah, that's definitely probably going to happen. Look at that wall in the back. Those Putas back there have got a goat, and it looks like Smitey's going around there, calls it off.
That is
4 points for Las Putas del Fuego, 0 points for the Cherry Bombs. Knockout jamming for Las Putas up against Rolla Parks jamming for the Cherry Bombs. This pack is pretty spread out, and Rolla takes advantage of that. Oh, but she gets caught behind that wall of Putas in the front.
It's fun to see Rolla jam because she is such a hard hitter. We usually see her blocking in the pack.
But that's a great way to be a jammer too, because you can just plow your way through. She makes it around, but she's got to correct herself. Oh no, they're saying she's clean.
They're saying she's clean, I think, because the person she went around also came to the inside. Yeah.
And it looks like Knockout is on her tail. The Cherry Bombs are desperately trying to get a Puta behind them.
Aren't we all?
Aren't we all? Oh, a nice little hit by Straight Jacket, and Hustlepuff is behind a wall of Cherry Bombs. Oh, Rolla trying to call it off, but she's already out of bounds, getting back on the track, calling it off. 1 point for Las Putas del Fuego, 1 point for the Cherry Bombs.
Okay, I have got a minor penalty on Straight Jacket for a forearm against the jammer.
Oh, Jacket.
They don't know what
Didn't
a
they tell
forearm
you there's
looks
no
like.
arms in roller derby? Oh, snap. I hope you got your running shoes on, girl, because it's a relay race.
We had a minor penalty on Straight Jacket of the Cherry Bombs for a forearm, and it looks like she was sentenced to a relay race.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. What a weirdo. So basically, three members of each team are going to do this like track and field style. They're going to take a lap, hand the baton off to another teammate in the correct handoff zone.
Which is between the white lines.
Between the white lines. And the first one to make it, first wins.
Yeah, basic track and field games here.
And it looks like the Putas have, the Putas and Scrappy. Two of the fastest players on the track right now. Oh my gosh, that was so close. Las Putas barely took that one home. Once again, taking a point away from the Cherry Bombs.
Like a Boss jamming for Las Putas del Fuego. Ninja Please jamming for the Cherry Bombs. Ninja going in for some early hips there. Jammer on jammer action. She knows Boss is dangerous.
Yeah,
so.
she's trying to get in Boss's head, it looks like. Ooh,
Yeah.
look at that. Ninja Please saw the light on the inside. She is your lead jammer.
Sarah Problem got a hip on Boss and totally took her for a spin.
Slowed her down, too.
A lot.
Boss is now stuck behind these Cherry Bombs. The Putas are going to try to get her out of this mess. Getting a nice, Bully almost taking her to the rail. She gets a nice whip around Sabotage, and Ninja is already back in the pack.
Putas need to keep an eye on what's happening here. And
Ninja's
watch
just-
20 feet.
Yeah. Ninja calls it off. That is 4 points for the Cherry Bombs, 0 points for Las Putas del Fuego. Jamming for Las Putas is Hustlepuff up against Scrappy from the Cherry Bombs. Ooh,
Mila.
nice little hip to the rail by Mila Jukovic there.
Woo. Straight Jacket giving a little bump to the inside.
Straight Jacket's hitting really hard tonight.
She's improved
looking.
so
I think
much.
she has improved so much, and everybody's looking so good on the track tonight. This is it, man. This is the last hoorah. Hustlepuff slamming into the wall of Annie Smokley and
Elbow.
Straight Jacket. Hustlepuff is out in front finally. Your lead jammer, and look at these Putas beating up on Scrappy, who makes her way out of the pack.
Hustle's got some time to score some points. The Putas need to slow the pack down to make it easier for Hustle to get around.
She gets right around Annie
Shown
Stokely
up.
on the high side.
Hustle
and
needs
then
to call that off, placing her hands on her hips, calls off that jam. That is 4 points for Las Putas del Fuego, 0 points for the Cherry Bombs.
I have got a major penalty on Hustle Puff for a high block.
Sabotage jamming for Las Putas del Fuego. Rolla Parks jamming for the Cherry Bombs. Sabotage took a long, long way to start far back the track, so looks like both skaters are kind of stuck right in the same spot. Sabotage
and
making
Rolla
her way.
going around the top, and she is out of the pack. Nice defense and offense by the Cherry Bombs right there.
Bully Jean goes down, takes out a Blazing Grace with her.
And Sabotage is out in front also. She's trying to gain speed to catch up with Rolla. And now these Putas trying to not be behind a Cherry Bomb right now. The other
that's
Putas
the
are waiting
goal.
for them. Rolla coming in fast. Whoa, tries to go through Cora and Smitey.
Bad
she
idea.
calls it off. Yeah, very bad idea. 2 points for the Cherry Bombs, 0 points for Las Putas del Fuego.
So I've got a major penalty on Ninja Please for a forearm.
Rolla Parks jamming for the Cherry Bombs up against Sabotage, and once again jamming for Las Putas del Fuego. Ooh, dang, Rolla!
Rolla Parks!
We had a major penalty on the Cherry Bombs. Ninja Please for a forearm. So the Cherry Bombs are one skater down. What a hit from Rolla.
That was pretty amazing, but it almost pushed Sabotage out of the pack faster.
Yeah, look at these Cherry Bombs though. Tricky Vicky trying to stop Sabotage.
Sabotage needs to call this jam off, and she does. That is 2 points for Las Putas del Fuego, because that includes the ghost point for the offending skater sitting up for the major penalty.
Trainwreck Trina and Like a Boss jamming for Las Putas del Fuego. Like a Boss getting a nice little whip around Rasta and right into the wall of those Cherry Bombs.
My
Ouch!
goodness.
That could be a penalty on Boss, not so sure. Dang! Some fancy footwork there, and Ninja goes down, and Boss is your lead jammer. Whoa!
Holy smokes. It is rough out there, ladies and gentlemen. This is not a light sport.
No, look at that. Like a Boss already back around, coming around. She's just going to keep on skating, keep on trying to pass the rest of these Cherry Bombs who've run away. And the Putas are now stopping on the track. They're going to stop the rest of these Cherry Bombs. And Boss is coming in hot. Ooh, right around the top of Bully Jean, calling it off. 5 points for Las Putas del Fuego, 0 points for the Cherry Bombs.
Gentlemen, I'm Rosie Behind, your infield correspondent for KCWX, here with Hustle Puff of Las Putas del Fuego. If there was one spell that you could cast on your opponents to make your life easier for the rest of the night, what spell would you cast?
Oh, that's a hard one. I don't want them to get more solid, so I'd have to go with the one that makes their legs all wiggly and like jelly-like, because then they couldn't skate and they all would be there, so they'd be a pack, but I could just go right past them.
Bendy Davis, what do you have to say about the rumors of you announcing a run for the presidency?
You know, I really can't confirm or deny anything today, but you know, I love politics and I'm open to anything.
Bendy Davis, proof that you really can have it all.
All right, it is the second quarter of Texas Roller Derby Calvello Cup Championship. Las Putas del Fuego versus the Cherry Bombs. Right now, Hustle Puff is jamming for Las Putas del Fuego. We've got Scrappy jamming for the Cherry Bombs in green. Now, if you've never seen the sport before, keep an eye on the skaters with the stars on their helmets. Those are the jammers and the only skaters on the track who can score points. Right now, Scrappy is the lead jammer. That means she can call off the jam at any time by placing her hands on her hips. Now, what these jammers are trying to do is break through the pack the first time, lap the pack. Second time through, they're going to get a point for every opposing skater that they pass, which is what Scrappy is doing right now. Hustlepuff has yet to break out of the pack for Las Putas del Fuego. So pretty much it's a free-for-all in here. Hit, hit, hit. Within the legal area, of course, but
lots and lots and lots of hits right now.
Yeah, it's both of these teams are very strong defensively, so it's pretty intense. 5 points for the Cherry Bombs, 0 points for Las Putas del Fuego.
I have a problem on Zara forearm minor.
Oh, Zara problem. It turns out the answer is yes. All right, Zara, let's see what the big wheel has in store for you and your wild forearms. Oh, that's a good use of forearms. It looks like it's time for a tug of war.
We had a minor penalty on Zara problem of the Cherry Bombs. She had a forearm.
How dare her?
Totally illegal. You can't use your forearm. You can use your elbows, not your forearms. So we have a tug of war happening here. Picante, who is pretty much a championship tug of war.
Yeah, she's a champion at most of these penalties and takes Zara problem to the bank, baby. Taking that point.
Yes, that is a point loss penalty. The Cherry Bombs lose a point.
Oh my, jamming for Las Putas del Fuego up against Bindi Davis, jamming for the Cherry Bombs. Coming in hot. Ooh, Bindi tries to go on the inside, and Cooter takes her out.
Oh my goodness. Oh my, tried to go high. Runs into a wall. Ooh, Bully Jean.
And Bindi takes her chance, and she goes on that high side. She is your lead jammer now. And oh my, sneaking around. Trainwreck taking her to the rail. Nice little bump by Mila, taking her to a knee.
Ooh.
And Trainwreck is coming around. These Putas need to turn around and look behind them. Cooter's on it. Cooter's on it.
Cooter's on it.
And Bindi goes down. It looks like Oh My hasn't made it out of the pack yet.
She has not. She's trying. Man, it's rough out there.
Bindi keeps going. She did not score a point on that. I'm pretty sure she was out of bounds on that, but she's going to keep on skating. Oh My is finally out of the pack. The Cherry Bombs need to slow down and stop these two Putas that are in the back right now.
Stop the Putas.
Stop Las Putas.
If you dare.
We're almost out of time. Oh, Smitey Mouse takes Bindi Davis. 1 point for Las Putas del Fuego. 5 points for the Cherry Bombs. Mila Djukovic jamming for the Cherry Bombs up against Hustlepuff jamming for Las Putas del Fuego. Hustle coming in fast. Oh, she does a little spin move around Trainwreck. But it looks like Tricky Vickery takes her out on the inside, and she wasn't able to make it out of the pack. Mila coming in hard on that Puta wall, which is not very smart. Not the smartest thing. You don't want to go straight into a wall, guys.
It hurts.
Use your teammates. Go around. Ooh, who was that? Trainwreck knocking Hustlepuff.
Yeah, Hustle looks like a little ping pong ball out there right now.
She's so tiny. A lot of power, though. A lot of puff in that hustle. A lot of hustle in that puff. Mila Djukovic finally out in front. She's correcting herself, though. They're telling her no. And now Hustlepuff is out in front.
She's got just enough time to make it around and perhaps score a point if the Putas can hold back Rolla Parks.
They've got Rolla Parks in the back there going really slow. Rolla doesn't even see Hustlepuff coming around. Woo! And then she goes right around Mila. She's not giving up. She's going to try to catch up to the rest of the points. Running out of time in that jam. 2 points for Las Putas del Fuego. 0 points for the Cherry Bombs.
Okay, I have got 2 minor penalties on the Cherry Bombs. First one's going to be Mila Djukovic for advancement. Next one's going to be on Rolla Parks for a forearm against the jammer.
All right, whatever this big wheel lands on, these skaters will be risking 2 of the precious Cherry Bomb points. So let's see what I have got in store for you. All right, time to bring out the big guns, ladies, because it's an arm wrestle.
So we had 2 minor penalties on the Cherry Bombs. One on Mila Djukovic for advancement, one on Rolla Parks for forearm. And it looks like Rolla is going to take care of business and do this arm wrestle against Picante, who just took her to the bank again. Picante is just too hot to stop. Like a Boss jamming for Las Putas del Fuego up against Scrappy jamming for the Cherry Bombs. Like a Boss up around front. Damn.
Knockout just destroyed the wall at the front, allowing a clear path through like a, oh my goodness, uh-oh.
Like a Boss jamming for Las Putas del Fuego up against Ninja Please jamming for the Cherry Bombs. Annie Smokeley has been taken out of the game. We're not sure what happened, but she is definitely injured and out of the game tonight. So the Cherry Bombs are a skater down. Looks like they're gonna have to use an alternate. Whoa, did you see Mila Djukovic trying to keep her wall together and Boss having a hell of a time going through. Zero problem taking her out of bounds.
Yeah, Rastafari was doing some interesting backwards blocking there on Ninja Please. That was holding her back pretty good.
Yeah, Corazon also was, I'm sorry, Picante was also pummeling Ninja. Like a Boss is out. Ninja is stepping back.
To correct herself.
Yeah, and the Putas are going too slow for her to correct herself. Boss comes in really hot, pushes Ninja out of the way. Now she's going to have to correct herself in order to score any points.
She doesn't have to, though, because she was already out and clean. She's just not going to get that point. So
Like a Boss is just going to keep on going. It looks like Ninja has not yet made it out of the pack. A little confused on that. 1 point for Las Putas del Fuego, 0 points for the Cherry Bombs.
Hustlepuff jamming for Las Putas del Fuego up against Scrappy of the Cherry Bombs. Little jammer on jammer action in there was really cute and fun. Tiny people trying to destroy each other is always entertaining. Scrappy gets out first. Scrappy is your lead jammer. Hustlepuff still struggling in the pack there. She's got Bully Jean to get around, and that's a tough
Bully Jean is not giving that up at all. She has got that line. She has got that inside. Hustle's trying to push her up to 20 feet, and she finally lets her go.
Scrappy's coming in for point scoring right now. All of the Cherry Bombs are in the back right now.
Trying to get in front of the Putas, yeah.
Ooh.
And look at that. Scrappy has not been able to make it through the pack yet. The Putas have a nice kind of solid center of this pack. We run it. She calls it off. 3 points for the Cherry Bombs, 0 points for Las Putas del Fuego. Scrappy jamming for the Cherry Bombs up against Hustlepuff jamming for Las Putas del Fuego. Both of these girls, tiny little fighters. And Scrappy finds a little hole and she is out in front. Hustlepuff getting pummeled by Zero Problem, taking her to the rail. Now Rolla Parks taking her to the rail. Looks like she's gonna drop back and just kind of wait for Scrappy. Scrappy coming in hot. These girls need to look behind him. Oh, nobody's looking behind him. Goes around on the low side, and now she gets caught by a bunch of Putas on the high side. But her teammates swoop in and save the day. Scrappy is going again. Hustlepuff right behind her. These Cherry Bombs have got to slow the Putas down in order for Scrappy to score some points. And these Putas have got to fight their way out of the Cherry Bomb wall.
My goodness.
Boom! Cooter taking Scrappy out, and she calls it off. 3 points for Las Putas del Fuego, 5 points for the Cherry Bombs.
Wow. And that is the first half. Putas del Fuego 28, Cherry Bombs 21.
Close game, dude.
Super close game. Very excited to talk to the skaters, so stay tuned for those interviews.
So you lost a teammate. Annie Smokely is out. She really hurt her leg. I mean, how do you feel about that? Did it really get in your head, or are you okay with it?
It got in my head in the sense that we know that we really have to band together now. Annie is a really strong blocker, and she really holds tight to our walls. So without her, we know we lost a key component to our defense. But I think everybody knows that without her there's a big hole missing, and we have to fill that hole with each other.
They're getting a lot of penalties, though, whereas the Putas are getting fewer. Still some, but fewer. Tell me about your strategy. Are you going to strategically utilize penalties, or are you just trying to stay clean?
Well, we're going to try to stay clean. We're definitely aware of it, and we're definitely in the mindset of stay cleaner than them, because we're also very good at penalties. And so if we can nickel and dime those points away from them, that's better for us.
It's a very tough game. They are not giving up any points. They're taking the front immediately, and it's a challenge as a jammer. It's really hard. You see that wall 3, and it's intimidating, but I think we're doing a good job.
How do you feel out there jamming?
I feel pretty good. It's a little bit out of my element, but I mean, the Putas, they have some really strong blockers, and me being a bigger blocker, I can really plow through their blockers more than the little jammers can.
Were you working with Annie Smokely a bunch, blocking?
Yeah, Annie's definitely my partner in crime on the track. She just really taught me a lot about blocking, and so especially with us two on the track, it's just one after another.
Yeah, you got to remember to get low, because I think you have a few penalties for forearms and high blocks.
Yeah. It's all right. It's a championship game. It's worth it. It's fine.
Oh, yeah, it's fine. It's a championship.
Okay, I have got a major penalty on the Cherry Bombs in that last jam of the second quarter. This is going to be on Rolla Parks for multiple infractions, holding and forearm against the jammer.
It is the third quarter of Texas Roller Derby Calvello Cup Championship. Scrappy is jamming for the Cherry Bombs, and Hustle Puff is jamming for Las Putas del Fuego. Now, those jammers are the skaters with the stars on their helmets. What they're trying to do is break through the pack, lap the pack, and then the second time they're coming through, they're going to get a point for every opposing skater that they pass. Cherry Bombs started off by running away, which is a really interesting strategy to come right out of the bat like that. So Hustle Puff has made it through. She is her lead jammer. She calls off the jam. That ends up being 4 points for both teams.
Bindi Davis jamming for the Cherry Bombs up against Sabotage, jamming for Las Putas del Fuego. Once again, we see the Cherry Bombs in the front, Putas in the back. They've been doing it like this all night long. And these jammers are head-to-head, and Bindi is out in front. Ninja taking Sab to the rail.
I would have to say whether the Cherry Bombs win or lose tonight, Ninja Please deserves consideration for MVP.
I talked to her at halftime, and she's so humble, and she just is so happy to be here, and she said she was going to hit some bitches.
That's a
Spidey Mouse taking out Bindi. That was beautiful.
It was beautiful, but where's the pack? That may be illegal.
Yeah, that is true. And it looks like Bindi's coming in, try to get around. It is called off. 2 points for the Cherry Bombs, 0 points for Las Putas del Fuego.
You cannot block a skater when you're not in the pack. So I've got a major penalty on Smitey Mouse for illegal engagement, 20 feet.
We had a major penalty on the last jam. Smitey Mouse was blocking 20 feet away from the pack. We talked a little bit about that during that jam. So we have Sabotage jamming for Las Putas del Fuego again. Bindi Davis up for the Cherry Bombs yet again. The difference here is that when the Cherry Bombs get their first point, they're actually going to get 2 points. One for the person she passed, and then another ghost point for First Mighty Mouse sitting out in the penalty box.
And Bindi Davis is out in front, and it looks like Sabotage just cannot get out of this box of cherry bombs that is all the way around her, and her Putas can't help her out either. The cherry bombs are also simultaneously trying to get them behind them as well, not just keep Sab back. And Bindi struggling a little bit to catch up. She's finally around, juking around Sab. Oh, Cora misses her and gets tripped. Slows Bindi down a little bit. Sab is now out in front. She's going to try to sneak around and get some points while she can, but Bindi calls it off. 4 points for the Cherry Bombs, 0 points for Las Putas del Fuego. Like a Boss jamming for Las Putas del Fuego up against Anthrax jamming for the Cherry Bombs. Like a Boss out in front, gets around Juicy Cooter. Ooh, and so does Anthrax, but Rasta Fury taking her out.
My goodness.
That was pretty. Ooh.
That defense is so tight.
Oh, yeah. Both teams, both sides. Look at this. Look how slow the pack is moving. It makes it really, really hard for the jammers to get by when they don't have any speed. And they're just being knocked around like toys right now. Boss is finally out in front, and poor Anthrax. Ooh, knockout. Nice little rail. Picante says, hell yeah, knockout. Get up here.
If Boss can turn up the jets, she can definitely get around and score a point. But the Cherry Bombs are running, and they're running fast.
They sure are, and the Putas cannot catch up with them. But they do have Anthrax, the jammer, still behind them.
That will be a point if she can get around her. Boss getting a whip.
Yeah, getting a whip from Picante.
Oh, my God, her face.
Oh, man. Anthrax hit the rail with her face. I think she's okay.
She wears a face guard, which is one of the few.
Oh, my God. 0 points for the Cherry Bombs. 1 point for Las Putas del Fuego. Ninja, please, jamming for the Cherry Bombs up against Hustlepuff, jamming for Las Putas del Fuego. Woo! Ninja giving Hustle a few little elbows there. Hustle just getting out of the way, you know, like you do.
Excuse me.
Oh, man. Cora just took train wreck to the rail and took herself out. That was pretty. Ooh, Hustle taking it from Rolla and Bully.
Meanwhile, Ninja Please got out of the pack and is your lead jammer.
Like a ninja.
And she is moving fast.
Hustle still can't get out. Trying to get around Rolla. She's getting pushed to the inside. She's going to have to correct herself. And Ninja is coming in for points. Oh, man, comes hard into Hustle.
That might be a little bit of a back block. That could be considered pushing. So we'll see if the referees call anything on that. It was kind of borderline, so we'll see.
Oh, man, it looked like it hurt, whatever it was.
Yeah, it did.
We got a really spread out pack right here, so it looks like Hustle's just going to go. And Ninja's pretty tired. Checking it out, checking it out.
Getting ready to call it off as needed.
Hustle's just going to keep on going until this is called off. 2 points for the Cherry Bombs, 0 points for Las Putas del Fuego.
We have a tie game.
Like a Boss jamming for Las Putas del Fuego up against Scrappy jamming for the Cherry Bombs. Did you see Trainwreck take knockout to the rail? That was crazy.
Oh my goodness.
Scrappy is out in front. There is high octane energy in this room right now, y'all. Like a Boss getting a nice whip also off a Hustle Puff. And now this pack really needs to get into position.
Putas need to look behind them. They are, knock out. Took herself all the way out.
So sick.
I love the way she committed. That was beautiful.
Totally. 0 points for Las Putas del Fuego, 1 point for the Cherry Bombs.
Ninja Please jamming for the Cherry Bombs. Hustle Puff jamming for Las Putas del Fuego.
Ooh, Hustle taking herself down and Bully with her.
Man, that hurts.
She was almost out. Man, I can't believe how much tension there is between these two teams right now. Just waiting for the jam to start is crazy. Yeah. And Hustle Puff is your lead jammer.
Ninja's
Look at these
right
Putas.
behind her, though.
Yeah, and these Putas have stopped. They've got Tricky Vicky behind them. Hustle calls it off before Ninja can get any points. 0 points for the Cherry Bombs, 1 point for Las Putas del Fuego. We got Scrappy jamming for the Cherry Bombs up against Hustle Puff for Las Putas del Fuego. Hustle Puff juking around her own teammates and then barrels through that Cherry Bomb wall. Meanwhile, Scrappy is back, stuck behind Knockout, and oh my, what a tag team. I'm sorry, that's a Blazing Grace. I'm sorry.
But still, oh my, what a tag team.
Oh my, what a tag team. And Scrappy's got Hustle Puff behind her. She just hops around these putas.
They had to let her go because there's no pack.
Aha. Now she's going to slow Hustle Puff down so she can let her teammates kind of get out of the way here. Oh,
not
shoot.
this time.
Hustle Puff goes right around her team, right around Bully, and she is on the chase now.
Hustle needs to keep an eye on Scrappy. Make sure she calls it off at the appropriate time.
Ooh. Oh, man. Great blocking by the Putas.
Man, great playing all around by both teams. These teams are proving why they belong in the championship bout tonight.
Oh, yeah. Hustle just sneaking through there, almost getting a crazy hit by Rolla. 6 points for Las Putas del Fuego, 0 points for the Cherry Bombs.
Rosie Behind, your infield correspondent here for KCWX, here with Johnny Bravo, coaching, managing the Cherry Bombs. Came down from the Highlands to grace us with his lovely presence. What sort of lessons have you brought from your travels abroad?
It's always good to knock down the big ones first.
Have you knocked down a lot of big ones in your day?
Fair share, fair share.
Hamthrax, you took a really hard hit off of Like a Boss when you first came into this. Got a little taste of the rail. I think. How did it taste?
A little bruisey, a little bit abrasive.
All right, so you guys are trailing by a mere 7 points right now. So when are we going to see you score those 7 points?
Let's say next jam.
Dot, how long have you been a Puta?
For 3.5 years.
3.5 years. Dot has really made a name for herself as a Puta, and this is your final bout. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling really nervous still and happy. I've been playing for 10 total years, so I'm tired. That's mostly it, but we're having a really good time tonight. It's been awesome.
Blazin', are you having fun?
I am. I got to play with Putas in the playoffs, and I'm stoked to be here for the Calvello Cup.
Awesome. Do you think you got a pretty good chance of being drafted next month?
I hope so.
I do too. I think she's got a pretty good shot. Keep an eye on this one because she is going to be something. Thank you so much, Blazin'.
I've got a major penalty on knockout for forearms and pushing against the jammer.
All right, this is the fourth and final quarter of Texas Roller Derby. Cherry Bombs versus Las Putas del Fuego. Hustle Puff jamming for Las Putas, Scrappy jamming for the Cherry Bombs. Remember, you're keeping an eye on those jammers. They have the stars on their helmets, and those are the point scorers. They're trying to get through this pack, which is proving to be a really big challenge. They're going to lap the pack. Second time through, they're going to get a point for every opposing skater that they pass. They've got 60 seconds to do it. The lead jammer, who right now is Hustle Puff, can call off this jam at any time by placing her hands on her hips. That's a defensive strategy. Sometimes we see it, sometimes we don't. Hustle Puff is moving into point scoring position. Got a small wall of Cherry Bombs in the back there. Getting taken to the rail there by Scrappy. And Scrappy makes it out of the pack now, so both jammers are able to score points at this point. And Hustle Puff calls that jam off. She has scored 4 points for Las Putas del Fuego. That is 0 points for the Cherry Bombs.
Bindi Davis jamming for the Cherry Bombs up against Knockout jamming for Las Putas del Fuego. Ooh, Knockout. Knockout trying to knock Bindi out, but she stays up. Knockout trying to get around this Cherry Bomb wall and roll it. That's a tough wall. Rolla taking her to the top. And Bindi also just trying to get around. She hops over her teammate on the inside, and she is now your lead jammer.
Knockout still struggling in the pack, though.
She is calling for her teammates to help her out. She's down on her knees. Oh, man.
Oh, that's rough.
Bindi can really get taking advantage of this. She's got to turn them jets on, and the Putas have their eye on her. Oh, she goes right past. Gets tripped by knockout. That could be a penalty. I'm not sure how that works with jammers.
It varies. It varies. So we'll see how the refs call that one.
And Bindi is just weaving through this pack. Knockout is finally out. Bindi trying to find the light, She gets stuck by behind Picante.
That's not where the light is.
That's not where the light is, girl. She gonna knock your lights out. And we run out of time in that jam. 0 points for Las Putas, 3 points for the Cherry Bombs.
All right, I have got 2 major penalties on the Cherry Bombs. First one is going to be on Trainwreck for blocker advancement and then engaging with the jammer. Next one's going to be on Rolla Parks for a high block against the jammer.
Like a Boss jamming for Las Putas del Fuego. Rolla Parks jamming for the Cherry Bombs. Rolla's got to be real careful here. She gets another penalty, minor or major. She's out of this bout and is ejected.
The Cherry Bombs cannot afford to lose any more hard blockers.
Whoa, oh my goodness.
Boss, I'm pretty sure just like karate chop ninja down to the ground. I'm pretty sure that's a penalty. I don't know.
I don't think that happened. That was not real life.
That's what it looked like to me.
Regardless, Boss is being called as the lead jammer.
She
is coming around into point scoring position.
Oh my gosh.
Ninja gets an elbow on her.
She's dirty. She cannot get any points. 0 points for the Cherry Bombs. 1 point for Las Putas del Fuego.
I have got a minor penalty on Rolla Parks for advancement, as that is her 3rd minor penalty, and she has 2 major penalties. This is being escalated to a major. She is being ejected from the bout.
Ninja, please, jamming for the Cherry Bombs up against Like a Boss, jamming for Las Putas del Fuego.
And they're having fun.
They are having fun. And the Cherry Bombs just lost Rolla Parks, another great blocker. And Boss out in front, like she do. We got Ninja stuck behind a wall of Cora and Picante. It's a tough wall to be stuck behind.
Yeah.
Here comes Boss, coming in hot. She's going to go right on the high side. Ninja sees her, tries to stop her, but she still gets around. She's just going to keep on trucking.
There's another 30 seconds on the clock. There's still plenty of time for Boss to catch up if the Putas can slow down the pack enough.
Picante just nonchalantly took Zara Problem out, like, to the ground. Nonchalantly.
It's like
no
whatever. It's another day at the office.
Another day at the office.
Oh,
for Picante.
Boss just slid right through.
It's like, what's happening here?
Speaking of another day at the office, CEO like a boss.
Doing her job. She gonna do her thing. Like a Boss coming in. Bully's got her eye on her. Oh, man. 0 points for the Cherry Bombs. 11 points for Las Putas del Fuego.
A Blazing Grace is jamming for Las Putas del Fuego, and we've got Bindi Davis on the line for the Cherry Bombs.
Bindi coming in hot, just
so
swimming
fast
through that pack.
Man, that's
she fell.
dangerous.
She fell. Let's see, a knockout trying to get around Scrappy. She better be careful. That is definitely 20 feet. I'm sorry, that's not knockout. A Blazing Grace.
Yep.
Look at those Putas packing those Cherry Bombs behind them.
They're doing a great defensive job here.
A Blazing Grace coming in hot. She's going to take it really easy on the high side and call it off before Bindi can get through.
Really nice.
2 points for Las Putas del Fuego, 0 points for the Cherry Bombs. Anthrax jamming for the Cherry Bombs up against Hustlepuff jamming for Las Putas del Fuego. Hustle's always got that smile on her face. Whoa, Ninja went in to hit Hustle and totally missed her.
That hurts.
That does hurt, and it sucks when you do that.
We're looking at something pretty close to 20 feet if the Cherry Bombs aren't careful.
Yeah,
so
I think Ninja was closing that gap right there and yelling at her teammates. And Hustle cannot seem to break through this Cherry Bomb wall. Same thing for Anthrax. She cannot get around this wall of Putas in the back. These teams need to really assist their jammers.
Yeah, they're playing more straight defense at this point. I can understand why the Putas are doing it because they're up. At this point, as long as the other team doesn't score, it doesn't matter if you're scoring. But the Cherry Bombs need to play more offensively at this point.
Yeah.
They need the points.
Yeah. Oh, man. Hustlepuff. Bully's got to let Hustlepuff go. She is now your lead jammer, smiling ear to ear. Panthrax trying to get around Rasta Fury back there. Ooh, Ninja and Rasta colliding. And here comes Hustlepuff sneaking up through that middle. She gets around with ease. 3 points for Las Putas del Fuego. 0 points for the Cherry Bombs.
Hey, I couldn't go out any other way, so we've got a minor penalty on a Blazing Grace for illegal engagement. 20 feet against the jammer at the back of the pack.
This is going to wreak havoc on your team's 26-point lead, especially since there's only 50 seconds left. All right, for 26 points. Sorry, for 1 point. It's a 2-lap duel.
All right, we have a 2-lap duel. There was a minor penalty on a Blazing Grace and for illegal engagement. So Bully Jean is going to go up. They're both strong, fast skaters, so this is exciting. Somebody's got to hit that ground, though.
Oh, dude.
Mandatory.
Oh, wow.
There it is.
Blazing Grace is strong, dude.
I didn't realize how strong she was. I knew
didn't
she was
either.
tough,
Yeah,
but-
Bully, go, baby, go, yeah. Now, Blazing Grace is a pretty fast skater, so
Yeah, she
I'm
is.
not so sure that Bully's going to be able to outrun her, but she's damn sure going to try.
It's pretty close. She has a head
If
start.
she can grab onto her
Yes.
shirt, which she just did. Oh! Classic dick move.
That
in
girl
the
is going to
two-lap
go far
duel.
in roller derby.
She
I
is
am
gonna
proud
go
of that
far.
woman. Yes, yes, yes.
A Blazing Grace keeping that point for Las Putas del Fuego.
Yes, yes, yes.
What a baller. Like a Boss jamming for Las Putas del Fuego up against Bindi Davis, jamming for the Cherry Bombs. Boss giving her a nice little hip. Oh, man, Boss is taking it to the rail, taking these hits, still standing. And Bindi Davis is your lead jammer out in front. Like a Boss being held back by Ninja. Zara problem. Real nice railing there from Zara and Ninja.
Oh, Dot taking a hard fall there.
The Cherry Bombs have got to knock some of these Putas down if they want Bindi to score any points. Oh, Boss
Nice.
knocking Bindi to the inside. She's going to try to correct herself.
She's going to have to because none of those points are going to count. She's just going to go around and try again.
And it looks like Boss is just kind of smiling and skating around. I don't think she's worrying about getting out of the pack. Dude, if Bindi can keep skating, she could win by default. I'm not sure. Looks like that jam is over. 4 points for the Cherry Bombs, 0 points for Las Putas del Fuego.
And that is the bout. Las Putas del Fuego 63 over the Cherry Bombs 41.
Donna, how do you feel right now?
I feel sad and frustrated, but mostly proud of my team for what they did accomplish tonight. So I don't know. It was a hard lose, but I feel pretty good about it. No, I feel terrible about it.
Now, both championships were under the leadership of you and Corazon. That has to feel amazing that it is your leadership that brought this team to the champions twice after being on a total losing streak for years. I know, because I was a captain for one of those years.
Honestly, the girls have all stepped up for the extra practices, the working hard. They all did fabulous.
How many times do you think you hit somebody to the ground tonight? It was a lot.
More times than I have fingers and toes to count on.
Girl, you were like holding that line tonight so good. Your blocking was on point. You were working so well with your teammates. Like, is that something y'all been working on?
Yeah, we're trying to stay with a buddy, so we just try to yell out, "Buddy!"
So the team won.
Yeah, so it was all because of me. I did that.
Tell me about what you did tonight.
Well, basically, I like shimmy, shake. I don't know if you can see this down here. Like, it's like really awesome, and I'm really shiny again. So if I bring the glitter and the glam, they win.
What was it? What happened tonight? Were their defense was just too on or what?
Boss is a very strong jammer. That's one. They were pretty good about keeping us apart. And it was like in the fourth quarter, we had it together in like the third quarter. But in the fourth quarter, we were not staying together. We weren't getting the front. And Boss was just like going and going. And we weren't reacting properly.
Holy cow, Las Putas del Fuego just won again.
They sure did. It was 63-41. The Cherry Bombs kept it really close through the first half, and even in the third quarter, both teams scored 13 points. But it was really the fourth quarter that made the difference here, with Like a Boss and Hustle Puff coming alive.
Yeah, it was a great game. Like lots of defensive hits from both teams.
Yeah.
It really was an amazing game. It really came down to the fourth quarter.
It sure did. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. Thanks for tuning in here on KCWX.